Hello, George, Phat Ninja Foodforest. This video is going to be about nutrient cycling. Pardon the tucked in shirt and tucked in pants. I was harvesting these stinging nettles and clingers and sochan and a variety of weeds. I think you can see this in the picture, in the video. It's a giant pile of ohm. Let me slow down so I quit stuttering. Of ohm. People have been in classes here. I'm talking so I don't look so silly. Been in classes here. Have seen that I do an ohm chant. I think I'm pretty funny when I do it because everyone gets uncomfortable. We ohm. About the third ohm in, I say organic matter. That's my ohm. Organic matter. Ohm. We chop and drop a lot of that ohm here. That's nutrient cycling. We're going to look all over, but I want to show one small area I was looking at down in a shady area here. If you look around, you don't see any disease, an incredible amount of growth. We're only 2 weeks past our last frost date, usually 3 weeks maybe. Hi, sis. One of the ducks is joining us. And that's because photosynthesis and nutrient cycling. It's also so lush and green now that we have the moisture cycling, creating our own rain, the dew every night, dropping that moisture. Hi, sis. We're going to get the camera and have a look at you. I'm going to grab the camera now. We'll look as we go through here. I'll try not to talk too much about guilds and all this and how it all works together. But all that is because of photosynthesis. We're having all this greenery from that beautiful sun, starting with the sun above us. And then these plants grow, storing that carbon in the ground or in their mass, releasing that oxygen so we can breathe it, us and the fungi. But then they release all these leaves, or when they die, their organic matter falls, and that soil food web feeds on that. Starting with the decomposers, the bacteria and the fungi. They're going to break all this down. The bacteria breaking down the softer material, first year growth, mostly, and the fungi mostly breaking down the harder, woodier material. We set our soils up to be healthy and full of that soil food web, and that nutrient cycling happens incredibly efficiently. Yes, I'm going to make this in a compost. I do the Johnson Sioux compost, and we spray compost teas. But really, this is such a lush, dense system now that all that cycling goes on by itself. I want to walk our way down to the bottom here. Around. And just have a look, because we can see how dense and rich, dense and lush it is. Even in the annual garden. I looked at the viewfinder, just doesn't do it justice. We all do that. Go on vacation, come home, we're disappointed. But all this is, 2-3 weeks old. The current, I'm not going to start explaining what we're seeing. There's just so much going on. So much food being produced with no fertilizer being brought in. Let me say that. No pesticide, no fungicide, no insecticide. This is all done like a forest, because we're mimicking a forest here. I want to talk about this little plant guild here. It's not a guild. I actually noticed that my bee balm had been swallowed. I was chopping and dropping all the stinging nettles and comfrey or clinger and comfrey and stuff over here. And I saw this. So this is incredibly healthy, green, lush, disease-free, full, thick, and a lot of diversity in there. We see spearmint and chocolate mint and this yellow-flowered wild weed. I don't know what it is. And this one gets a purple flower on it here. I can't think of the name of it. And this is the bee balm. And I think that's a honeysuckle and black raspberry and sochan and clingers, cleavers, wineberries. And I'm sure there's more in there. Wild strawberries down front. But look how healthy, green, and lush it is. Just from that nutrient cycling, from nature having a plan and dropping all this organic matter in place. Comfrey is another one we use all over the place. It's got a really deep taproot, accessing minerals and nutrients that aren't available to shallow rooted plants. We chop and drop that. We use it in our compost. See a bunch of it up here. This will be a short video, like I always say. I will stop shortly though. But look here, see all this comfrey? This is a good example of how easy that is to propagate. I put a bunch of buckets down here so people could grab and take the bucket home. And when they took the bucket home, the Comfrey stayed behind. The root grew through the bottom. And there it was. Oh, that's not part of this. This is part of nutrient cycling, and they are part of nutrient cycling. I'll chop and drop these 5 times. These are just finishing flowering, losing their petals. I'll chop that at its base, every bit of it, either composted or composted in place, covering the ground here, mulching with it. We see how much the bees like it. And I'll do that 4 or 5 more times this year with each of these plants all over the property, these comfreys. So nutrient cycling, able to take, I always talk about the edge of a forest. It's kind of the same thing. We're in a forest now, food forest. We're in the annual garden part. But the edge of a forest, no one waters it, no one feeds it, no one mulches it, no one plants it. But again, nature has a plan. It becomes incredibly lush, dense, thick. You'd have to chop your way into it if there's not a trail there already. But everything is healthy and wonderful. And that's because nutrient cycling. Nature has a plan. We just need to plug into that. Even here in the annual garden, lots of perennials. I make lots of these videos with the strawberries and the blueberries and the gooseberries and the raspberries and the geez, I'm just drawing a blank now. Different kinds of cherries, Nanking cherries and cornelian cherries and figs and currants and gooseberries, all with no nutrient brought in, all just done by keeping a healthy soil. Lots of composting in the beginning, putting swales in. I'm not going to get going too much on all the things we did because let me see things like this lightning bug. Out of my first few tomatoes. I'm George. Nutrient cycling. Change me better than a holiday. Peace.